Welcome to Late Nights in City Life. I'm your wonderful, handsome host, Ethan Houck, and welcome to our first showing of Late Nights Under City Lights. Woohoo! Yeah! So, tonight we have some special guests from the University of Cal Poly Pomona. They've been working tirelessly for the past 3 years on researching a certain neighborhood in Pomona. Introducing researchers from Cal Poly Pomona, Austin Evans and Christopher Chu. Give them a hand. So, what might this glorious research be about?
Well, our research was actually focused inside Pomona. We had a lab that focused on District 3, and what District 3 is the boundaries between South Garey Avenue and Reservoir Street. And
how did you conduct said research?
Good question. We actually interviewed some residents, the local workforce, and we'd like to show you.
And that brings us to our first segment, Block by Block.
I think it's just safer overall. I will say maybe the road, this road in particular, there's not a lot of the stoplights, right? So a lot of people will speed their cars at night. Some people shoot their fireworks. It's not in July, it can be or in December, it doesn't matter, they just shoot fireworks. So they've done a pretty good job just to keep the city safe, less homeless people. And I guess it would be a lot easier if there's easier access, right? Like if I'm across the street right here, now you have to go all the way to that street light or all the way to the other street light.
Yeah.
Most people just kind of jaywalk, so I say maybe adding some sort of ease.
Yeah.
Do that.
Sweet.
So it seems like the neighborhood's cleaner, but not walkable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like we just heard in that interview, definitely over the past decade, this road was originally a 4-lane road, and now it's only 2 lanes. So yes, we do believe that due to the unwalkable streets and sidewalks, they might prioritize cars. As you can see that the intersections are incredibly far apart still. So they still don't want too much traffic, which is understandable, but it still puts in the statement that they still prefer cars over us walking. However, we have to remember that where we interviewed this resident, he did live right against the main road. So they don't 100% have vehicles in mind still as the number one priority, because they took out a whole lane to have more residential parking and added bike lanes, which did encourage drivers to drive slower in that area, especially since there's an elementary school nearby.
So wouldn't that be unsafe for elementary school students in the area? How would a city let that slide?
Oh, let me tell you, we interviewed 2 crossing guards that worked actually right next to the school. We heard some pretty valuable information.
Let's go to that.
You have said that they are going to start repaving.
Yeah, through the signs, yeah.
Is it just around the school?
I saw the signs for 3 blocks down that way.
Oh, okay.
So I believe they're doing this section of Pomona.
Do you feel like this area is pretty walkable, or do you think you need access to a vehicle?
Oh no, there's a lot of things close here. You definitely walk around.
No está tan nuevo, pero no está tan mal.
Pues, ¿por cuánto tiempo estaba trabajando acá?
Como por 5 años.
5 años y siempre quedas.
Sí, está
siempre
tranquilo.
Tranquilo. Ok, perfecto. Muchas gracias.
All right, so after those 2 interviews, we see that there's actually 2 sides of the story. A common trait we've been seeing is the city is pretty clean, it's nice and walkable, repaving streets, and even saying all the neighbors are nice.
At service level, street improvements seem to be all the way positive. But as through your research, you guys have seen to show that there's always 2 sides to a story.
Yeah, so after those interviews, we see both positives and negatives about the work being done. We've seen 4-lane roads being turned into 2-lane with bike lanes, adding parking, but there's still the challenge of crossing the street. We have new paved roads near the schools and cemeteries for easier access, but you have to keep maintaining it. It all balances out.
Yeah, that's really it.
Well, that concludes our time for tonight. I'd like to thank our 2 brilliant researchers here at Cal Poly. I hope you have a great night.
Good night. Good night, everyone.